undefeated in wrestling for any length of time is a sign that the promotion you work for has some serious faith in you. Wrestlers like Goldberg, Asuka, and The Undertaker all had fantastic unbeaten runs as fans excitedly anticipated who would be the first to take them down. In all three of those cases, the result was a bit of a disappointment, but we move on. We are almost halfway through 2023 and several WWE wrestlers are yet to taste defeat. And you know what? We don't just mean on TV either. These guys and gals haven't even lost on house shows yet this year. I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are 10 WWE wrestlers who are currently undefeated in 2023. Join us. Number 10, Ronda Rousey. Former UFC star Ronda Rousey rounded out 2022 with a loss to Charlotte Flair as the Queen returned to WWE and immediately took Ronda's SmackDown Women's Championship. Did Rousey try and get the belt back? Nope. Instead, she started buddying up with fellow ex-MMA fighter Shayna Baszler, which turned out to be quite the profitable move for Rousey. They wrestled their first match as a team in 2023 against Natalya and Shotzi on an episode of SmackDown. The contest actually went a little while, 12 minutes in fact, before Rousey won the match by tapping out Shotzi. The former tank driver was replaced by Tegan Nox for 2 more losses to Rousey and Baszler on the house show circuit. Then at WrestleMania 39, the duo were victorious in the women's tag team showcase match after Ronda waltzed in and won the bout with her very first move. Honestly, you just have to admire the hustle. Number 9, Bad Bunny. Right, before you get angry and tell us where we can shove our stupid list, go back and watch Bad Bunny's match from Backlash and then tell me he doesn't deserve to be classed as a wrestler. The Puerto Rican rapper absolutely tore it up against Damian Priest in their San Juan street fight. He put in one of the best celebrity wrestling performances of all time and even took a bloody elevated Falcon Arrow. You wouldn't catch me doing that, mainly because I would never be asked to wrestle on a WWE show, but still, with the help of the LWO, Carlito, and Savio Goddamn Vega, Bunny managed to overcome the Judgment Day member. As this is his only match in WWE so far this year, his winning record stands at 100%. In fact, he's 2-0 in both of his regular matches in WWE, as he and Priest teamed up to beat The Miz and John Morrison at WrestleMania 37. His only loss came during the 2022 Men's Royal Rumble match, where he was eliminated by Brock Lesnar. No shame in that, plus he did make it to the final 5, which has got to count for something. Number 8, Wesley Lee. Wesley is the first of a few reigning champions who have notched up an impressive number of wins in 2023 thus far. He is, of course, the current NXT North American champion and won the belt back at Halloween Havoc last year. Since that day, he has lost just one match, a tag affair from November 2022, pitting him and Bron Breakker against Pretty Deadly. Yes, boys. He's wrestled 7 times in front of the cameras this year, including on 2 NXT specials. The first was a title defense against Dijak at Vengeance Day, and the second was the fatal 5-way match at Stand and Deliver. He's also notched up 8 victories at house shows against names like Malik Blade and Joe Gacy. The maths wizards among you will have worked out that Lee's overall win-loss record for 2023 thus far is an astonishing 15-0. And you know what? I don't see Lee losing that belt anytime soon, so we could be looking at a much larger figure come the end of the year. Although knowing my luck, they'll probably have Von Wagner beat him for the belt the week this video goes live. Number 7, Scarlet. Don't worry, I'd forgotten Scarlet had wrestled a match this year as well. Before she joined WWE in 2019, the woman formerly known as Scarlet Bordeaux was an established name outside of the McMahon Empire. She wrestled her first match back in 2012 and would go on to perform for promotions like Ohio Valley Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, and Ring of Honor. She also once gave a lap dance to Scott Steiner, putting her in the same class as Stacy Keibler and probably 1,000 other women in the United States alone. Despite sharing the ring with the likes of Athena, Shotzi, and Melina, WWE have kept Scarlett's in-ring involvement to a minimum since she re-signed with the company in 2022. She didn't wrestle on TV at all in her return year, but did get to step between the ropes on the very first SmackDown of this year. Alongside her real-life hubby, Karrion Kross, Scarlett took on Madcap Moss and Emma in a mixed tag team battle of the couples. After 3.5 minutes of fairly tame action, Kross beat Moss, hey that rhymes, moves with a cross-jacket submission hold to win the match for himself and his significant other. Number 6, Lita. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's leading thong expert, sorry Cisco, Lita has managed something quite incredible in 2023. She has managed to lose a championship without actually losing a match. The star made her presence known when she assisted Becky Lynch during a steel cage match with Bayley on a February edition of Raw. Later that same month, she would compete in her first match of the year by joining Lynch to challenge Dakota Kai and Io Sky for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Lita secured the belts after Trish Stratus got involved on her team's behalf. This led to all three members of Damage Control taking on Lynch, Lita and Stratus at WrestleMania 39. In what was shockingly only her second bout at the Show of Shows, Lita helped her team pick up the win. A week after Mania, Lita was supposed to defend the belts against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, but was taken out backstage before the bell. Stratus stepped in on her behalf, lost the match, and then turned heel. Can't lose a match if you're not in it. Smart thinking, Lita. Number 5, Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes' last match in NXT was a loss to Joe Gacy on November 8th. He then went on a hiatus for about 6 months before turning up again as part of the most recent draft. What was he doing all that time? Oh, he was getting absolutely swole. Fair excuse. The former Trevor Lee actually returned to the ring before he got back on TV as he wrestled a SmackDown Dark match against Hit Rose Ashante the Adonis back in February. Grimes won the match, but then disappeared again for another 3 months. Talk about momentum. The GameStop multi-millionaire made his official SmackDown debut on the May 12th edition of The Blue Show when he was confronted by Baron Corbin. After Baszler insulted him about being picked last in the draft, Grimes challenged him to a match right then and there. Then they had the match, which Grimes won in about 7 seconds. And you know what? This means that Grimes has an average of 17 wins this year per minute of TV time. Isn't maths fun? Number 4, AJ Styles. Here's a top tip for you. The best way to not lose any matches is to get injured and then not have to wrestle any. AJ Styles took this advice when he broke his ankle in December of last year. The injury took him out of action for about 6 months before he showed back up just in time to be drafted to SmackDown. On his first night back in the ring on the 12th of May episode, Styles competed in and won not 1 but 2 different matches. The first was a triple threat also featuring Edge and Rey Mysterio, which allowed Styles to progress to the main event. A one-on-one victory over Bobby Lashley secured the Phenomenal One his spot in the finals of the World Heavyweight Championship tournament at Night of Champions. Can't wait for this list to be immediately out of date when he loses to Seth Rollins. AJ then got extremely lucky as he won his next 2 matches via DQ. These were both US title matches against Austin Theory at back-to-back house shows, which the champion chickened out of by getting himself disqualified. Number 3, Bray Wyatt. Remember when Bray Wyatt came back to WWE? Remember when we were all so hopeful? Doesn't that seem like a lifetime ago? Since making his triumphant return at Extreme Rules 2022, Wyatt hasn't actually been beaten at all. He didn't wrestle on TV at all that year, instead picking up wins over Jinder Mahal at non-televised events. His first 2023 match was at the Royal Rumble, where he beat LA Knight in the much-loved Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Well, much loved if you work for Mountain Dew. Bray worked with Knight exclusively since then, beating him on 7 more occasions at several house shows in February. And then he just vanished. We simply haven't seen the Eater of Worlds since before WrestleMania, keeping his winning record of 8-0 still intact. When will Wyatt return to the ring? Will he return to the ring at all? At this moment, nobody can say for sure. However, if he does come back, I have just one request. Please keep him away from LA Knight. He deserves better. Number 2, Roman Reigns. Sometimes it feels like WWE would like you to believe that Roman Reigns' last loss came at the hands of Baron Corbin way back in 2019. In actuality, that was his last pinfall loss. His most recent singles defeat was at Royal Rumble 2022 when Seth Rollins beat him by DQ. He also lost that tag team match to John Cena and Kevin Owens, remember? The Tribal Chief is actually unbeaten in 2023 thus far. He has won all 4 of his matches, 3 of which have been pay-per-view main events for the undisputed Universal Championship. The first was at Royal Rumble when he defeated Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn's chair shot to the back set up Reigns' next match when he defeated his former Bloodline buddy in his hometown of Montreal. And then, of course, there is the big one, WrestleMania 39 against Cody Rhodes. Pretty much all of us thought it was going to end here, Reigns' 3-year run of dominance at the top of the card. But what happened instead? Rhodes got punked out by Solo Sikoa and then upstaged by a rubber chicken. And Roman continues to reign. Number 1, Bianca Belair. If you are wearing socks right now, then prepare to have them blown off by this insane number. Since the beginning of 2023, Bianca Belair has gone undefeated in 35 different matches. 35 matches! How is that even possible? Did she go to the Hulk Hogan School of Time Travel or something? In terms of high-profile televised matches, Belair has appeared on 3 different WWE pay-per-views this year. She defended the Raw Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss at Royal Rumble, then retained over Asuka at WrestleMania, and then overcame some significant boos to walk out of her Backlash match with Io Sky with the belt still around her waist. Seriously, what did she do to upset Puerto Rico so much? She has also defended the title on Raw a few times, beating Bliss again and surviving a triple threat with Bayley and Becky Lynch. The closest that she has come to losing her perfect record came at 2 different house shows where she fought Bayley to a no contest on both occasions. A record-setting champion who is undefeated this year so far and who seems to be a genuinely lovely person. Makes you sick to your stomach, doesn't it?